3 years ago, my boss looked me dead in the eye and said, "Pack your things. You're done. Today, I'm about to sign the paperwork that makes me his boss." And trust me, this story will blow your mind. But before we get to the sweet, sweet revenge, let me tell you how a 24-year-old college graduate went from being humiliated in front of an entire office to buying the company that fired him. My name is Alexa, and this is my Mindburn story. Picture this, fresh out of college, student loans crushing my soul, and I land my dream job at TechFlow Solutions, a mid-sized software company. I thought I'd hit the jackpot. But here's where it gets interesting. My boss, Marcus, seemed like a mentor at first. Expensive suits, corner office, the whole 9 yards. I looked up to this guy until I realized he was taking credit for my work. For 8 months, I poured my heart into this company. I created an automated system that saved them over $200,000 annually. I stayed late, worked weekends, even came in sick. And what did Marcus do? He presented my innovation to the board as his own idea. When I confronted him privately, he laughed. Actually laughed. He said, "Welcome to the real world, kid. This is how business works." But I wasn't about to let this slide. So I did what any smart person would do. I documented everything. Screenshots, emails, even recorded conversations where it was legal. I was building a case, but Marcus was building something too. My termination. It was a Tuesday morning. I walked into the office and Marcus called me into the conference room. The entire team was there, my colleagues, HR, everyone. He said I wasn't meeting expectations and that my attitude was becoming problematic. In front of 15 people, he told me to pack my things and leave immediately. No explanation, no chance to defend myself, just gone. I felt humiliated, betrayed, and honestly, completely lost. But here's what Marcus didn't know about me. I don't stay down, ever. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to find another job. I was going to start my own company. With my $3,000 savings, I rented a tiny office space that was literally a converted closet. I reached out to 3 former colleagues who quit TechFlow after seeing how I was treated. Together, we started Devinnovate Solutions. Our mission? Create better software solutions than TechFlow ever could. For 2 years, we hustled. We lived on ramen noodles and coffee. We worked 16-hour days. We failed more times than I can count. But we also learned, adapted, and grew. And slowly, our client base started expanding. Here's where it gets really interesting. Remember that automated system I created at TechFlow? Well, it started failing about 6 months after I left. Why? Because Marcus never understood how it actually worked? Their biggest client, Peterson Industries, was furious. They were losing money daily because of system failures. Guess who Peterson Industries called to fix it? That's right, Devinnovate Solutions, me. I spent 3 weeks fixing the system I originally created. And Peterson Industries was so impressed with our work that they offered us a 5-year contract worth $2.3 million. But that was just the beginning. Word spread fast in our industry. Within 6 months, we had stolen 4 of TechFlow's biggest clients. Not through dirty tactics, just by being better, faster, and more reliable. Meanwhile, Marcus was panicking. TechFlow was hemorrhaging money. They laid off half their staff, including some good people who didn't deserve it. The company was drowning, and Marcus was grasping for lifelines. Then I got a call that changed everything. A private equity firm reached out. They said TechFlow was going into bankruptcy and asked if I'd be interested in acquiring their assets. Last month, I walked into TechFlow's office building for the first time in 3 years. Same lobby, same elevator, same conference room where I was humiliated. But this time, I was sitting at the head of the table. Marcus sat across from me, and for the first time since I'd known him, he looked small, defeated. He knew what was happening, but he had no choice. TechFlow was bankrupt, and Devinnovate was their only buyer. I could have been cruel. I could have made him grovel. But you know what I did instead? I offered him a position. Not as a manager, not as a director, but as a junior developer. At half his previous salary. He took the job. He had to. And here's the thing. Watching him work under my leadership has been more satisfying than any revenge fantasy I ever had. But this story isn't really about revenge. It's about resilience. It's about turning your lowest moment into your launching pad. Marcus didn't fire me. He freed me to become who I was meant to be. I learned that sometimes the worst thing that happens to you is actually the best thing that could happen to you. Getting fired forced me to bet on myself, and that bet paid off in ways I never imagined. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had a Marcus in your life? Someone who underestimated you, betrayed you, or knocked you down? Drop a comment below and tell me about it. And if this story inspired you to take action on something you've been putting off, hit that like button and let me know what you're going to do differently starting today. If you want more Mindburn stories like this one, tales of people who turned their worst moments into their greatest triumphs, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Remember, your current situation is not your final destination. Sometimes you have to go through the fire to become the phoenix. Sometimes you have to be underestimated to prove everyone wrong. Marcus taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. Never let anyone else's opinion of you become your reality. Today, Divinovate Solutions has 47 employees and generates $8.2 million in annual revenue. And it all started with a $3,000 savings account and a burning desire to prove one person wrong. I'm Alexa, this has been another Mindburn story, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep grinding, keep believing, and never ever give up on yourself.